All right, y'all. Enough about me. Talk about your characters. Does anybody want to take a moment? Look at goals and beliefs. Does anyone need a reminder of what happened last off?
I think I remember, but I think we could always use a good refresher.
Just as far as where we left you, I'm not going to recount the whole session. Lots of things happened, but we left you at the was it the Salty Minnow?
Yes.
Yeah,
That was it.
Sandy Minnow.
Sandy.
There we go.
We left you at Le Sandy Minnow, the tavern that is run by Dante's adoptive mother, the reformed elf woman Lyrandel. And he was woken up, all of you were really woken up to her furious that she had found a wanted poster.
And some pot.
And also some weed in your sock drawer.
It's not my mom, I swear. I'm holding for somebody.
Already?
Yeah, right. And then there was some talk about if, the Reclaimer might protect you if you seek his help, since he is usually fairly anti-military police in his beliefs. And Lyrandel pretty much just insisted that that's what you do, because she figured that was the only way you were going to get out of this. Or it's, a long shot, but you're only... And Dante tried to sneak off alone to do that, but everyone wouldn't let him leave yet because he's still discussing what to do.
Yep.
So we left you off in the makeshift huts, servant huts, behind the Sandy Minnow, actually, in the little adobe walled courtyard. For Dante and I believe it was first thing. I can't adjust the clock because Roll20 is broken.
Dun, dun. Roll fucking 20.
All right. Cool. Anybody else have anything to add? Recap?
Nope.
You don't have to write ones, but look at what you have for goals and beliefs. Maybe write some new ones.
I think it got me some new ones.
Just dropping them.
Don't forget, you found that silk farm full of blind slaves in the jungle.
Yep.
Didymus is on your tail.
I was honestly surprised that that Zuzu didn't react more strongly to that one.
He out of everyone was the one that was like, I don't sit well with leaving this. He did say that. He was like, I don't feel good about like leaving this behind and not doing anything.
Yeah, it was tough. It was just like, now is not
For
the
sure.
time.
But yeah, also Didymus is on your tail. Remember, he caught up. I was surprised that you guys opted to camp in public camping in like a very public place, not very far from where you just were.
Hell yeah, baby.
But it made for a fun chase.
Yeah, and he's got a cane. He's got something fucked up with his leg or something, right?
Didymus, yeah, he's not like really a super fast. He's like an older guy, but he had a bunch of soldiers. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
I don't remember describing him with a cane, but if I said that, yes.
I think maybe you said a
You
limp.
said he.
Yeah.
No, you said he had a cane.
I think I may have said that now that you mentioned.
It's actually
Old
just that
boner
police
boy said
baton.
it again.
Yeah.
All right.
Look at these goals. Cedric, I will bend a city official's will using the staff of my command.
It's gonna happen.
I like that, but I want to know, why does he want to do that? Just to use his staff, or?
I think he is right now just like testing the waters of it. Like, this is pretty new territory for him. So part of him, I think he might convince himself that he might want to do it for a reason, but I think a big part of it is, you know, the experimentation and the wondering when this stuff happens.
So I would like to see it either change in one of two ways. It should either be, I will test my staff by bending a city official's will, right? Or like test the limits of my staff, etc. Or I think you could go the other way though and say, just to keep it kind of broad and generic, you could also say like, I'll use my staff, or like I will get my party out of a sticky situation by bending a city official's will or whatever.
Okay.
But I do like the angle of like, I just want to test this fucker out too. But I think the goal should reflect that more like accurately. That's a good one. I will learn more about the staff's origins. Yeah, you've had that. I like that. Explore the golden barge. That's a good one. Solve my crow problem. Ooh, Cedric, your belief became darker.
I think I had to address the fact that he has not told people about his problem.
About the staff, yeah.
About his bird curse.
My bird curse.
All right, Areti. Finding a way to give these people a better future. Purpose? I'll prove myself as a leader to this group. Sure that we are the only team to delve the depths. I like that. It's got air of subterfuge to it. I will convince Cedric, Cora, and Dante that we can't keep running from our pursuit. That's a very interesting one. Like that goal. I will do absolutely anything to protect what is precious. Cora, we talked about these before. I really like that one. And this one I really love. A path forward will always be available to me when my choices honor my purpose. Like that, I kind of ripped the beliefs and goals from a game called Burning Wheel, which is an incredibly complex, hard to play role-playing game. But you know, obviously has a lot of awesome ideas, and it's also fun. But this reminds me, I said this to you before, this and a few of your others remind me of like an example belief. Goals. Go to a church or place of worship in Arc City. That's great. Demonstrate value through my combat prowess. In the favor of the Reclaimer. I like that one. Eliminate our wanted level for the Sarkhan escape. Nice, like GTA style. You guys are up to at least 3 or 4 stars. You killed a cop.
At least 2 stars. Getting rid of at least 2 stars.
We should go hide in the sewer for like 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, they'll forget. Seek out a spell or scroll. Okay, that's good. Cedric harnesses, or Dante rather, sorry. We'll learn how Cedric harnesses his magic and where he believes it. That. Learn more about the Black Candle from Awa. We'll find a way to cast a new spell. No one is harmed by the Reclaimer when we meet him or them. I think those are all good. Your spell one, is that more like you want to find new spells, or you haven't found any like more scrolls or grimoires yet with stuff in it?
Yeah, so Dante's still running off his level 1 spell, so the idea is that...
Didn't you guys get one druid spell?
They all got used, from what we have written down on the record.
Copy that.
But, so yeah, he's either looking to learn something new, like learn a new spell, or find something that allows him to at least cast a new spell.
Yeah, sure.
That's why he was shopping around for something to replace his sword that he thought might have been really magical.
Copy. Make sure no one is harmed by the Reclaimer. Yeah, I think that one's good. Okay, yeah, those are all good. My survival comes before anything else, but I have not and will. And Zuzu. I will make Areti pay for slapping me. Oh man, when that comes, that's been a long time brewing.
Yep.
I will convince the party to return to the Silk Farm. Nice. I will be the one to face the dangers. Charge first. Like, greatest fortune be found isn't made through hard work or diligence. This you've had that one, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Do you have to get rid of beliefs once you kind of like?
Usually,
them?
if you get an XP for them, you should like evolve them if you can, based on what's happened. But if you feel like you have,
Okay.
but it's just there's no hard and fast rule. If you feel like you have more to squeeze out of it story wise, then keep it.
I mean, I did change that one a little bit. I'll take away the kind of slave one.
Sure.
That is.
And I wasn't saying that you already had this one as like a bad thing at all. I was commenting that I recognize. Taking another's life is commonplace. I mean, that one's interesting. I think that one, the number 3, if your goal is to go back to the Silk Farm, I think that aligns with your belief of slavery, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, working in tandem there, that's good. All right, cool. That's everybody, right? Well, we pick up in the hot, blazing sun of the morning here in Arc City. You are in kind of the outer edges of Arc City, where most of the boats around you are, like I kind of mentioned before, mostly just skeletons or ruins. But, you know, every third or fourth one will be house or a business, kind of in the slums area. And you can see kind of going up the hill towards the dune, because you're in a bowl, remember, kind of between the dunes. You can see the big main arc, you know, this massive ship where most of the rich people. Also where the Godborn of the city stay as well. The priests and stuff.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So when we woke up last time, you said that like she woke us all, or we woke up hearing the mom yelling. So do we have time to pray and stuff? Or do I have to say that?
I mean, usually, yeah, you do need to like actually stake out an hour of in-game time, but you guys can decide if you want to go to the Reclaimer immediately. No one is like leaving yet, you know. You guys were still talking. Okay. So there's time to say, let's go in an hour or whatever.
Yeah, I will I will announce my need for my morning devotion.
Yes, there's something I wanted to bone up on before today's proceedings.
Yeah, and our loss ain't gonna kill us.
Lyrindel's like, well, I don't want to wait long because... I don't remember what her accent was. I think she's kind of southern. I don't want to wait long because... I think the merchant police are looking for you actively. They might show up here and I don't want any trouble. Not while we have our customers.
Just an hour. We'll be okay. We'll go as soon as everyone's back on their feet.
She kind of looks around the courtyard. A few kind of junk traders have started pouring out of the back of the ship into the courtyard with mugs and breakfasts and stuff. She's like, well, at least keep yourselves in the huts. She kind of starts to close the hut door as you all file in.
Cora will find a quiet spot and kneel down, and she will do her blood ritual with her everlasting blood, and paint the 3 lines on her forehead and do them on her hands, and just take some an hour to really try and figure things out. If anyone is paying attention, they can see that she's kind of like her brow is furrowed, like she's not at peace with her prayer right now. She's feeling frustrated, or she needs help.
Would it be possible that I could also repair some of my armor during this time as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Certainly.
Now's the time. You know how to high five? Now's the time. Not while I'm driving.
Damn, Will Ferrell moments.
Yes, I'm glad someone knew it. What it was.
I knew it was Will Ferrell. It took me a while to get back to the office. Fully. I was like, what is that? I was like, that's not Talladega.
That's his best line in The Office by far. You know how to five? You know how to high five, Andy? Now's the time. So fucking good. Not while I'm driving.
Sweet.
I do love the attempted joke he tries to tell when he's in the concussion. He just like stumbles back.
Oh yeah, that's right. The way he delivers it is great.
Yeah, it's just nonsense, but you're still like, oh, I was waiting for the punchline. man.
Yeah, he got the rhythm all right and everything. It's just no actual words were said.
Oh, a cowboy? Oh, a cowboy.
Yeah.
Patty Pat? Patty Pat. Oh, you rolled a 4 on repairing armor. I think that's
Good.
It's excellent. It means I repaired my armor. Successful.
hell yeah.
All right, so you guys gather in the hut. Uretti works on, I don't know, reattaching a strap or something back to his armor, mending cuts in it, whatever it might be. The rest of you go to your spells. And yeah, ready to go to the Reclaimer. What do you want to do next?
Well, Dante, can you tell me a little bit about this Reclaimer? Do you know anything?
Dante, you would know. I mean, you'd probably have seen him from afar, giving speeches and so forth. You would know he has a reputation for being. He's a little guy, short man, older man. His name is
A
Topa.
short king.
Yes, his name is Topa. Topa the Reclaimer. And he is known for being kind of, like slow talking and wise, but also like threatening and scary. And you know that they ask for repentance and jail people for crimes and stuff like that. You know that he is a priest of the Sun Cleric, and that the kind of a priest of the Sun Dreamer. He is a Sun Cleric. Oh, my brain is all over the place. I didn't smoke weed for like 2 days, and I smoked weed like 20.
Oh god, it's going to kill you.
That's great.
My bad. Yeah, he's a priest of the Sun Dreamer. Let's see what else you know. I think the other thing you would know that I kind of didn't explain that well last time is, or maybe at all, the Silk Farm probably makes some sense to you, but I don't think you realized it was happening this way. Because, Goldborn merchants really have no control in this town. It's one of the few places where they don't. The Godborn really do. The Church of the Sun Dreamer is what really kind of rules the town. And they also have their own industry, which is silk. It's like they have that market kind of cornered, the silk market. And so Goldborn traveled through here. This is like a really well-trodden, trade route. And they pay a lot of money to stay here, but they have very little sway here other than that. They don't have any like governmental sway. And they also aren't allowed to trade silk through here unless they're buying it directly from the Reclaimer and the Godborn of the city.
I just relay all that.
Yeah, so you don't have to try and play it out.
Yeah.
Right.
So if we're to take that no one but him is allowed to do what, silk trade? Did I catch that right?
Yeah. That's
So we
correct.
should be under the assumption that farm we passed was under his purview.
Yeah, those were his guards that we saw in the distance, kind of watching over it.
Seems like a real bastard. Why do you think he's gonna show you any kindness?
I don't. But, you know, do as Mama says, not as Mama does.
Now, you said he's a cleric of the Sun Dreamer?
That is correct. Yes.
Oh, well, from my reading, I feel like the cleric of the Sun Dreamer's not supposed to take a title. Does that... I wonder... He must be something special, or... I don't know. Have a way with words.
You'll see. He's interesting. Much like everything here in Ark City.
When we get up there, I'm gonna go ahead and say that we should not be introducing ourselves as our given group name, at least for this time being.
You mean
Can we all
don't-
agree on that?
You mean don't tell him we're the Bone Legion, or what?
Exactly that.
Oh, if we're going for his help, I think we're gonna have to explain the situation to him.
I just think that we've already got enough heat on us, and maybe just adding more to that is gonna be an issue. I'm sure if we can offer our services in exchange for whatever protection while keeping our heads down, trying to get that gold bar on our own for his sake, might be able to skirt that certain, indicator.
Yeah, maybe. How about we...
I'm just saying, if it comes to it, fine. Just maybe not open with there.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Let's address that bridge when we get to it.
And maybe we'll get along, right? Maybe he's a nice fellow.
I'm sure he's charming. Don't think that means nice, though.
Well, it's not like we don't have anything to offer.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
We can
none
find
of
a
us
way to get
should-
on his side.
Just don't comment on his height. I think he's sensitive about that, is what I've heard.
Oh, I wouldn't, but good to know.
I mean, now that's all I'm going to be thinking about.
Well, I mean, who values natural beauty anyway? There's beauty in all of us, whether we bought it or not.
Ideally, my plan of action here is that if we can strike some kind of deal for your safety in exchange for delving into the golden barge, maybe we can deprive those, what are they called? Antiquarians? Is that what you call them? Deprive them from getting into that place first. See if we can't give exclusive access in exchange for, we can find our own payment within those depths.
Yep.
Who
maybe.
wants to bet that there's going to be something really dangerous in there, like a monster slumbering for... Anyone knows how long this golden barge has been sitting here?
As long as I've lived here.
Decades, centuries, something like that. There's going to be something in there. I can feel it.
Oh, Retty, look on the bright side. It could be just gold bars we could waltz in. Could be easy money.
Yeah, see, it won't be that, because even if it weren't going to be like a monster, there's going to be plenty of traps in there, because no one makes a vault without setting up a few traps. Now, I've identified my share of traps in the day. I'm no expert, but that's something that we should be keeping on the lookout for if and when we get into there.
Yes.
Well, I can find traps. I mean, I could try to find traps.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what? Wouldn't it be funny? This would just be a hoot. If we went in there and Biscuit was in there.
And who?
Biscuit! That little old lady from the last place we were in.
Biscuit pig nuts. Never forget her.
You guys are, kind of sitting in the hut, but you can see. Are you on your way now?
if we're done with all of our stuff, I would have liked to have gotten going like immediately.
Okay, yeah. So as you're talking about Biscuit, you pass a big, kind of parade almost of junk traders going the opposite direction towards the sandy minnow, and they pretty much just all look like Biscuit, kind of quibbling and quabbling and arguing amongst themselves and skittering around the road, getting in the way of carts and stuff.
All right, Biscuit. I remember now. She was the one that was in the tomb, right? Okay. You know what? I think we will see her once we get in there. You're right. Sorry, please continue.
No, that's it. Oh, I'm not talking to them.
Look, before we do this, I'm gonna give you all one last chance. You don't have to see this through with me. You guys can go do anything, and I can hide from my shadows and just hang out here or get lost. It's I don't know. I feel like this is gonna be dangerous and reckless, and none of you need to worry about me like this.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
You worry too much, Dante. I'm sure we'll get along fine. What's he going to do? Cut our heads off for making a comment? I think it'll be fine.
Well,
Dante, can I'm trying to work on this making decisions for other people thing. I want to be here for you, and we made a deal on the way over, a pact that we'd stick together and that we were going to be the Bone Legion and what that meant. So I want to do this for you, but I want to ask what you want. What do you really want? Do you want us to be there for you?
I'm just worried that there's a chance he takes the reward for the bounty on us and we all end up in jail in Sarkhan again, or potentially we end up in his jail, or worse, dead.
Well, I grew up in a jail, so at least we have that going for us. We got out once, we can get out again.
Touche.
I think we've got enough charm spells between us now to weasel our way out of any situation.
Well, someone slap Awa and wake him up. Let's get out of here.
I was not with you. And as far as I understand it, you guys are already walking there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Lyrandil
Yeah,
is
he
walking with
disappeared.
you. She's just being quiet and kind of wringing her, the edge of her cloak in her hands as she just walks head down listening to you guys. She's obviously just, focused on what's about to happen. Awa did not show back up.
So I kind of got swallowed up in the party, and he's Is anyone actually worried about his well-being?
Not at all.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried. Not worried enough to go looking for him, but I don't know. Probably found himself in a ditch somewhere.
Just
I hope he's okay.
He's a grown man. I think he's fine. I mean, I didn't think that he was planning on sticking with us for a long time anyway. But we are missing some real good snarky comments and sighs from the background.
Did that make you feel better?
Oh, it makes me feel so much better. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, you're in charge of size. Now we need someone else in charge of snarky comebacks. Delegate duties.
Good to laugh before we die.
Anyone
Or-
knowing any good jokes? Apparently not.
My head's somewhere else right now. Sorry.
Oh, well, I got one. I mean, it's not very good, but what do you call a wizard who lives in the desert?
Dead?
A sandwich.
This is very good. It's
So-
quite good.
So as you're walking, you pass kind of a rock formation, coming up out of one of the dunes. There's not a lot of rocks here. It's mostly just straight up, beautiful, fine yellow sand. But This is like, a fairly large little rock formation. It probably comes 8 feet up, so it's a little taller than you. It's essentially kind of like a natural pillar, though it's not perfectly pillar shaped. Just kind of a little rock plateau sticking up out of the ground. But it's used as like a posting board for the neighborhood. And, there's just all kinds of different notes and jobs and advertisements and pamphlets and so forth posted all over this kind of rock. But it's mostly just plastered with wanted posters with your faces. And, of course, Soup and Roscoe and Peter.
Y'all want me to draw mustaches on these things? Try to make them look a little different or something?
I think that's a great choice. They'll be looking for people with mustaches, not us.
We gotta find a way to get rid of these, to get rid of this wanted business. This is crazy.
Well, sometimes when it rains, the rain will have a tendency to wear them out and they'll wash out, but it usually only rains here like once every 17, 18 days or something for like 3 minutes.
I wager that our wanted levels are going to be following us until we crush those who are hunting us, and I'm personally not thinking that that's going to be very viable. Or we just leave the country altogether.
We could, if we had to get rid of the Bone Legion, but I guess we could all fake our own deaths.
We could try that. Just,
Last resort.
if you've got any good ideas for, like, faking our deaths, I feel like we need, like, body doubles. And I'm not so comfortable figuring out how we wrangle up some corpses that look like us.
Oh no, I'd hate to do it. I never thought I'd see myself on a wanted poster, but I don't like the way it makes me feel. I don't feel like I've done wrong.
Yeah, they really did not paint any of us in flattering light. They got my chin all wrong.
And also they just, looks like you've been punched in the nose a couple times in the ones. Yeah, you're right. Somebody.
Yeah. I have been punched in the nose plenty of times.
Oh. She blushes.
Well, I know you may not be thrilled to hear this, but there may be a magical solution to our problem. Not one that I've grasped quite yet, but I have been working on some things, so perhaps being incognito or not ourselves is in our future.
Well, in my experience, a lot of magical solutions tend to backfire in one way or another. We could give it a shot, but I won't be holding my breath until it's all done and squared away with. Personally, I'm thinking we invest in something more practical. Hoods, masks, things to cover our faces while we're walking the streets, which, we haven't done a whole lot towards that end.
Magical hoods?
People are like looking at you at this point. Sorry to interrupt. That was a good snark. But people are starting to look at you, as you guys walk.
What are they looking at us like?
Like, look at those fucking cretins.
Hey, they should be happy to see us. They should know our story. I'm so mad.
People aren't looking at you like you're scared or anything. They're just looking at you like they recognize you,
You said cretins.
I know, I was just kidding. I think more so when you guys were gathered around, the column with the posters. Yeah, people were like starting to look at you and stuff.
We're all standing right in front of our own wanted poster, and it's like, wait a second.
In a group, yeah.
It's like that scene in Airplane when he has that picture of himself on the wall.
Yes.
I just imagine Cedric as people making eye contact, being like, "Oh, good morning. Oh, good morning."
Exactly.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh yeah, Cora's got her head held high for sure. Like, these people are not gonna shame me.
Now, I gotta ask you something, Cora. What makes you think that the Bone Legion name has any bearing anywhere?
I don't necessarily, it has bearing to me and to all of us, I hope, but I don't think it has meaning anywhere. I just think that we couldn't go by it anymore if we were all we'd have to pick something else if we were gonna pretend to be dead. And also, if you mean we have a lot to offer, I just mean naturally all of us are pretty special. And when we get together, we're more than just special. We shine. And I just think we could be a great team to help if somebody is willing to do what's right. And, I'd be willing to make a deal.
And Miro said everyone knew who we were. And the poster as well.
Yeah, see, that's the thing that's bothering me. That ain't good for us, because we don't control the narrative in any way.
Yeah, I mean, the poster says cop killer also really big on it.
Yeah, see, the thing is right now, we're fighting more than an uphill battle. We're fighting an uphill battle while pushing a boulder at the same time.
I think you guys notice little kids are like running past you and gathering up in like a little storefront built in a little boat, kind of right by the the poster board, and like a big gigantic looking man, bald headed, big like kind of fat cue ball looking guy, and nothing but a vest and puffy pants like Aladdin style. He's got a shaved head and just a long black ponytail coming out the back of his head. He like kind of slowly stands up. And like he's looking at you, from about 100 feet away, kind of through a crowd. And he reaches for a big, massive two-handed mace and starts like lumbering over towards you.
Gang, why don't we take into the less broad open streets and maybe try to take pathways that are a little bit more, less obvious.
I
We
guess
should
I just
probably
didn't
get
realize how
moving.
big of a deal this was going to be.
Dante, you know this city. You can do that for us, right?
Yes, but
All right, lead the way then.
He's coming. I think the man with the stick is coming.
See,
Cora can't help herself with any of the kids. Like, if she makes eye contact with any of the kids, she just kind of gives them a little smile, like raises her shoulders and gives like a little wink and tiny wave, just like, hi, cutie. She just can't help it.
Cora, we should probably go. That man's coming towards us with a weapon.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm following you.
So you guys start slipping through the crowd and like, trying to go into more quote unquote alleys as you can, or just not this big main road at least. And trying to evade this gentleman who is following you. I think Lyrandale would be like, you have to remember, 100 gold is life-changing to anyone that lives here. If they could capture just one of you, they would do it.
Hell, it'd be life changes for us too.
Yes, maybe we should turn ourselves in.
Well, how do we start to control the narrative? I mean, if that's what we're supposed to be doing, maybe we could find a way to, I don't know.
They've said we've done something very bad. So we should just do something that's very good. And that they can't ignore.
I like that.
Good for the people, the small folk. Not good for the nobles. So, if we want to become heroes to the small folk, the best thing is to do something heroic.
What do they need? What can we, Dante, what are the people around here? What would make them see us as, maybe bad for the right reasons before and good or, respect or something?
I mean, what does anyone want? If you live in the poor area, you want money, and if you live in the rich area, you want power.
Let's blow up the golden barge.
Holy shit.
All right, you got an idea for that?
I don't, but if we get into it, we might have a way. You never know.
I mean, I've handled an explosive or two before, but this is also ancient, interiors. I don't know if they've got
There might be
anything
some
like.
ancient explosives.
I mean, I guess.
If you want to blow up a symbol, if you want to take down something that's evil, something that the nobles have used to oppress the small folk for a generation, it would be the Sun
Money
Spire.
feeds people, though.
The Sun Spire.
A big chunk of gold would feed them.
Maybe we should be careful about what kind of symbols we look to destroy, because it's just as easy to turn yourself into a terrorist that way.
A good terrorist.
I mean, that if I were the people in charge, that would be how I spun it. Terrorists destroyed a monument. Like,
Is
I
this
don't think they
barge
reflect well.
actually made of gold, by the way?
It seems to be, yeah. I mean, or at least the outside's gold plated.
Hmm.
I don't think it's pure gold because they would have just melted their way in a long time ago.
There's like little bites taken out of the side where people have checked to see if it's real.
Yeah, there's like dents and shit. Yeah, where they've like pickaxed it or melted it away.
Yeah, what they call that when they do with the coins, like clipping the
Mhm.
coin.
It's like gold lined, yeah, steel plate or whatever. It's not.
It's one of those-
Not wood like all the other ships here.
It's like one of the chocolate foil coins.
I've been giving my son those when he goes on the potty.
Oh, good for him. You're making him rich.
Yeah. With chocolate.
That's actually, like Hanukkah, chocolate coin belt.
How's this asshole behind us look? Is he still there?
I think you've like managed to slip away, or he just kind of gives up when he sees it's not going to be easy. He's a big, slow man.
Out of curiosity, how long is it gonna take to get up to where the reclaimer folk is?
It won't be long. You guys are like, you can see the big arc you're heading to. And you're almost there. Like, you're kind of heading uphill toward it. It's kind of like the central point of the city.
Right up there.
Alright, so game plan, try to secure Dante's security. I guess all of our security, one
I
way or
think
another.
We're all
With the
very happy.
reclaimer, offering our services to go into the Golden Barge, ideally alone, and see if we can't, if we can't poach the treasure from the antiquarians, because, I don't know, something about them just rubs me the wrong way. I guess it was mostly how they was treating Leondale's establishment. And honestly, if we get in there and we get out, I wouldn't be remiss to just, I don't know, hightail it. That might make things worse for us, though, huh?
I just want to point out the people at the establishment were junk traders. Those were the Scrucian, whatever, cultists.
I guess already just is not making a distinction between any of those people right now.
Yeah, I know there's like a lot of factions and stuff going on too, but yeah, those are all like a bunch of junk traders for the most part, or poor people who are just drawn to this free gold thing. It was run by like a merchant policewoman, or former merchant policewoman from what you saw. She was the one giving away. The antiquarians you guys have only heard about. It's the Antiquary Guild, and they're apparently super rich, like archaeologist collector types. They're the ones that are hiring your friend.
I wrote it down.
Avon, who you talked to the previous night in the courtyard.
You booked a sunny Verbo ski chalet with endless.
Yeah, I really would hate. I think violence really needs to be the very last option because we're outmanned here and we're on losing ground. So I'd really like to say something or do something to convince this man that he needs us more than they need us back in that jail or dead.
We won't know until we get there.
Exclusive salvage rights are a hot commodity, from what I understand. So, ideally, that's going to pique his interest. I guess we won't know until we get there.
Yeah, so you guys kind of close in. As you get close to the massive ship, you see that outside of its, ramp, it basically has a huge ramp that leads up into, the big kind of hatch-style door. Big enough for, 2 carts to go up this ramp side by side into the ship. And there are people all over it walking up and down, and guards around the base of it. But you also see around the base of the ship, like on the sides of the ramp, they have this area set up with these big stone spheres all in a row. Maybe 4 feet high. You could easily climb on top of one. And you can see that people are laying on the stone spheres, like back on the sphere, so they're kind of arched over it weirdly. And their arms and legs are like chained to them. And they're just in the direct sunlight, and all of them just look burned, red skin peeling off. Some of them cry in pain. And there are silk wardens with their, weird masks and silk coverings and their umbrella-style hats that keep them nice and cool that step out of, like, tents in the sun and will pour water down these people and in their mouth every once in a while to keep them alive. And Dante, you know that these are repenters, or, like, people who are being punished by the Reclaimer. This is a Sun Dreamer punishment.
Every time I see that, it gives me the... Ugh.
That's a common occurrence, then.
Yeah.
And you think we should be following to make sure that we don't end up like those sire bastards?
Just be on our best behavior. Show respect. It's hard to say.
Yeah, so you guys walk to the ramp of the ship past this kind of gruesome sight. And you head up the ramp, kind of through the crowd and into the ship. And when you get up in the hatch and you see the inside of the ship for the first time, I think you're just awestruck. I mean, this ship is massive. It is, the size of a skyscraper laying on its side. It is like an entire city on the inside. Like, you just see a huge open room. Of course, it's got big vaulted wooden ceilings that are the upper deck of the ship above it. Maybe 50 feet, 60 feet high, and those have like kind of big sun lights cut out of them so sunlight can come through, but a lot of it's torchlit as well. And yeah, there are like kind of little roads or aisles and booths and buildings built inside of here. And you see there are other hatch doors. There's a hatch door way on down to the right, and also one to your left that go into further compartments of the ship. And you know that, I think, you gotta go to the one to your left, to the bridge of the ship, where they pilot it from. As that is where the Sun Dreamer clerics, the Sun clerics are, and of course where the Reclaimer. So you guys kind of head through the crowd, through this, market. People here look a lot less poor. There's really not a lot of beggars or anything. It's a lot more like mercantile and people in nicer clothes. More cleaned up. And you also see multiple like sun shrines and priests like asking for money on the street. A lot of like new god worship. You also see a few Wave Mother clerics, as that's popular because of the whole boat thing, even though there's not any water here.
What about any like magic shops?
I mean, yeah, there's probably almost anything you can find if you look long enough. Or you can. Why don't you make wisdom to see if you can just pick something out? Okay.
Eagle eye.
There you go. You see a table, I think, with some like elixirs and pretty obviously magically marked bottles and things like that. And then you notice, the herbs hanging, and then you see the many books and scrolls like stacked on a scroll shelf back behind the counter under like a tent canopy. And
So she's gonna give a pointy elbow to Cedric and,
go take a look.
Can we make a quick pit stop? Thank you. Good eye, Cora.
I guess we can, but let's not spend too long browsing, huh?
Just tell him I had to stop at the little girl's room if anybody asks.
I mean, it's not like he's expecting us.
Yeah, I just want to, if I can buy a spell, I would like to buy a spell or a scroll or...
Yeah. Let's see. I'll say she's got level 1 scrolls from each spell list. Any level 1 spell from each spell list. And I'll do a couple select level 2.
I don't even remember what the spell list is anymore.
In the OSE book.
She's like digging through, seeing if she can find anything. She's like, my spell book I found when I started this adventure had a lot of them 1 and 2s in it.
Do we still have the book pinned anywhere?
It should be in the info. Very first pin.
Yep.
I don't know if it's pinned, but the very first post in the info. Yeah, I mean, anything above level 2 is probably very, very rare power-wise. That's likely to find in the art.
Cool.
Why am I not finding this channel?
How much
In
would a level 2 spell be?
Hold on, I'll roll for it. We'll see. I'm typing it all out, and I'll hit. Let me see. Campaign info and links. The top OSE advanced.
Did you mean in the barge when you said in the arc?
Oh,
There it
sorry.
is.
Yes. that is
Gotcha.
Okay, just making sure.
Let's see. And the bard uses the druid spell.
Mm-hmm. I can find the spell list now. Acrobit.
If anybody wants to grab a drink or a quick bath.
Dope.
I'm gonna definitely do that. Thank you. I actually have to go to the little girl's room.
Break the rule.
146. So how much did we say they were?
Hold on, I'm rolling for it. All the prices will pop up in a
Gotcha.
I'm back. I had coffee.
Weird.
coffee. You're a madman. Did you say you had coffee?
Yeah, just 1 cup.
Absolute madman.
Madman. Well, I'm not drinking tonight, so
You gotta do something.
yeah, I have to do. I can't just not do a substance. That's ridiculous.
I feel you. I have been really trying to like quit smoking weed or at least take a break, but as soon as I sat down and started prepping, I was like, I'm not gonna be able to do this part. And I smoked weed. So I feel
I was in a real not smoking funk, whatever that is, and I've definitely not got back to where I was, but you know, I'm smoking 5 or 6 hitters a day now.
that's
Peaks and valleys, just like everything else.
Mm-hmm.
keeping it to hitters, dude.
I will purchase Fly and Lightning Bolt.
All right.
Thank you for doing that. I'm sorry.
Okay. Magic shops are like the hardest shop to parse, you know?
Does Dante, can he just buy spells?
What's that?
Can Dante just buy spells too?
Yeah. Let's see. Probably confusing. I like type.
You refuse to explain it to us. You
I-
must figure it out on your own.
Probably would figure it out.
So my son, this morning, I was doing laundry in my bedroom, and he said, he's 3, and he said, "Mommy, what are you doing in Daddy's room?" And I said, "This is Mommy's room too." And he said, "No, this is Daddy's room." And I said, "If this is Daddy's room, then where's my room?" And he smiled at me really big and said, "In the kitchen."
Oh.
Whoa. Jesus.
He's like, I screamed like, when he said that, and then he got really scared. And I died laughing. I was like, "Oh my gosh, he's such a clown. Like, he's like that. He's so funny."
Learning to tell them jokes early.
I laughed so hard. He's like that. My mom asked him what he was going to have for his birthday dinner, and he told her he's going to have eggs, which is what he's allergic to.
You should learn some. My wife.
My wife.
Yeah.
He's so ridiculous. I was like, "Come on. Like, how did you burn me so hard?"
Nailed him.
I'm gonna get my kids started on Borat early. They have to learn from a role model that we can all look up to.
Yeah. All right.
There's no misogyny in my household other than him, by the way. Like, that's not something he would have overheard.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
He just
He's the only misogynist in your household.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
such a little asshole.
It's so funny.
A little misogynist.
I'm writing a
Coming to
call out
dudes.
post for your child.
Right? Go for it. He needs it.
Cancel Bennett.
Cancel Bennett.
Oh no.
Oh no.
A bright future as a cop.
Ugh.
Sorry, that was bad. All right, here we go. $55 silver pieces a piece for red potion. There's 3 available. 50 silver a piece for blue potion. There's 3 available. Let's see. Level 1 scrolls cost 55 silver each. Wow, level 2 scrolls are real cheap. Hold the right thing there.
Roll
On sale.
2d8, star 10.
For level
Hand out
2
the
scrolls.
chest piece.
Nice.
Yeah.
They're just cheap. She has, like I said, every level 1 scroll. For level 2, let's see. Cleric scrolls. Scrolls. All right, cleric scrolls. She has. Roll the same thing twice. Silence, 15-foot radius. I'll roll for the second one again. I rolled another 6, so I'm just gonna go with it. She's got 2 scrolls of silence. Druid scrolls. She's got 2 and 5. She has create water and obscuring mist. And then for mage scrolls, she has 8 and she has locate object and phantasmal force. Then
Well,
Okay.
shoot, I've already read this one.
magic ring. $40. Oh my god. Afford it. A ring of invisibility for 250.
Wow.
And then she also has a magic weapon. Ooh, the price is probably a lot cheaper than that. I'm gonna say divide that by 5 or 10. We'll say divide it by 5, yeah. Magic crossbow bolts. +1 crossbow bolts. 6.
34.
35 gold.
I will not be purchasing anything, but I would be happy to donate my 11 coins.
I also will not be purchasing anything, but also if somebody did need something, well, y'all, I've read this one, and so if anybody needs something and they need me to spot them, I can.
And I've only got 7 coins to my name, but that'll make any difference, and you've got them.
What about a void creature's egg? Would this shopkeeper buy a void creature's egg?
Is that your starting item?
Yeah.
Yeah. She'd probably trade it for 100 silver.
Damn.
Damn.
Or she says
Okay.
she'll give you 2 red potions. She'll give you a deal. The egg.
What do the red do? Heal?
Mm-hmm.
We have.
I kind of want Phantasmal Force. That's a sweet spell.
It is a sweet spell. I think Obscuring Mist would be a really strong spell for Dante to have as well.
Yep, that's why he's taking it.
Nice.
So I think I will sell my egg because I don't know what the fuck else I'd do with the egg.
Throw it on the ground.
Smash it. Yeah.
Good boy, baby.
They did that last campaign because someone else rolled the same thing.
Yeah, I mean that's what I did. I threw it on the ground because I had nothing else to do, and it worked.
It did something?
Yeah. I mean, Cedric doesn't know that, so he should sell that egg.
Okay.
Why don't you sit on it and try to hatch it?
Yeah,
I-
make it
I
happen.
am. I do have a Raven staff. I'm channeling that Raven. All right, I think I'm gonna sell it, and I'm gonna buy the summon Phantasmal Force.
Ravens are just void chickens, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Nice.
Do they have any candies or anything? Got butterscotch up front? I'd like some of those, but other than that, I'm good.
She got rock candy.
Nah.
What?
Nope. I got jaw problems.
Is there anything else? I have extra money now. Is there anything somebody wants?
I'm set.
Out of curiosity, what's a blue potion do?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. I was thinking about it. I think it gives you like a one-time cast of a spell where you don't have to roll your attribute. You just know you're gonna keep the spell. It's like a little mana boost.
I will. I'll grab one of those too.
I was gonna. Okay, well, never mind then.
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, having a little bit of that healing in a bottle, having a little bit of extra on that, I think would be mighty helpful if the worst comes to worst.
Oh,
We have
man.
one already, but like,
Now I know how Neo felt. Well, let's take the blue, and here's my rationale. Because if worst comes to worst, Cora can drink it and get 2 healing spells.
Agreed. I mean, I'm not.
what if Cora goes down?
I'm not a player here, yeah, but the beauty of the healing potion is if Cora is disabled, then you or bring her back to life.
Oh, with the healing potion.
Right.
All right.
Oh. Or that.
By the way, who's carrying our current our current red potion?
I guess I am, because nobody else took it.
So we already have one red. So let's get a blue. Red and blue.
I'm not sure if I'm the best person to be holding it.
Give it to Cora.
Hey, I'm back.
They're debating whether to buy a healing potion or a mana potion.
Oh yeah, I missed what it did. You were gonna tell, and then you cut out, and I didn't hear.
It gives you 1 free casting of a spell where you don't have to roll your attribute point.
Oh.
How about one?
I'm gonna say it
That-
still has to be a prepared spell, but you just don't roll an attribute point. Keep it.
I have 1 coin remaining.
Oh my gosh.
Nice. Okay, so you got the blue potion yourself.
Yeah.
Lovely shop you got. I think I'll be passing on things today. It is funny you rolled 666 on the cleric spells.
Yeah.
Fine.
All right.
And Dante, you did get the mist.
Yes.
Cool.
All right, well, we're off to see the wizard, I guess.
Yeah. Keep in mind, you guys can try and cast those scrolls on the fly in an emergency. Cora, I maybe should have mentioned that too. So having doubles is never necessarily bad. However, it's dangerous if you fail, and also it ruins the scroll.
Yeah, I just don't. Silence. It's fine.
Sure.
But
like, you know,
if it was like a damage spell or a healing spell, maybe.
I'll say all those level 1 spells isn't healing level 1 spell.
Oh, yeah. I guess I could. How much was it?
55 silver. I mean, you don't have to, but just something to consider when shopping for.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my original plan.
Sure. All right, yeah, you guys head up through the boat, up another ramp even higher, and into another chamber not nearly as large. This is more just like a gigantic ballroom type thing. And as you kind of come up to the entrance of this ballroom, there's really no doors, just a big opening in the ship, you know, into the next chamber. There are 4 different silk wardens kind of standing there. You know, you can't see any of their faces with their weird chrome ovular masks and silk, you know, garments, etc. But one of them does step forward and speak. And he says, "Who are you? Why do you try to enter the bridge? Do you have business?"
Hello, Cedric Abadar. Nice to meet you. We'd like to speak to the Reclaimer.
The Reclaimer is preparing for the noon ceremony. We must observe the sun at its highest point.
We have an offering regarding the Golden Barge. We understand you're having some trouble with the antiquarians heading for it. We believe that we may be able to offer you some services.
The guards, you know, kind of looks back at the others, and he says, "Whose behalf? Who sent you?"
We sent us. We're independent contractors.
He kind of muffles a laugh under his hood. And he's like, well, as I said, Reclaimer's busy until afternoon. But he will be taking a public audience. Any believers who wish to see him can return then.
I think by that point, our offerings may not be as equitable as they are now. At this moment, those antiquarians are trying to make their way into the Golden Barge, yes?
The guard just shakes his head, says, I have no idea. I've been guarding this door for, 5 days in a row. Tomorrow's my first day off.
Well, I'm sure that the Reclaimer will want to hear about what we can offer him. And I'm sure that you would like to have some rest. The sooner that we can find ourselves in agreement, the sooner that we can all get what we want. I'm sure that our time spent won't disrupt the noon ceremony.
Yeah, it'd be an awful shame if we walked away and, Cordine Finstock, sir. It'd be an awful shame if we walked off, you sent us away, and then they did get in there, and he found out that you would let us walk off and could have solved his problem. That sure wouldn't be good for you. 5 days in a row might be making your decisions a little more tricky. She smiles at him. She's not trying to be like rude or anything. She's just like, hey, we're trying to help you. Help me help you.
He's like, I appreciate your concern, but you're neither Godborn nor Goldborn. We don't know who you are. And the Reclaimer's busy. He's not taking appointments with private contractors right now. I hate to send you away, but it's my job. So I think as you're saying that, at the bottom of the ramp behind you, someone shouts, like, it's them! And a bunch of people start mumbling and pointing at you. And I think you see 3 or 4 merchant police like filing through the crowd now towards you, up towards the ramp.
Already's gonna grunt. He says, listen, if you want help from the Bone Legion, then you're gonna let us in right now. Otherwise, things are gonna get bloody here real fast. Not your blood, their blood.
He like looks past you and sees the guards pushing through the crowd and coming up the ramp.
It's your choice. I'm sure you don't want blood on your doorstep, and we certainly don't want to spill it, but it's gonna happen if you don't let us in.
He looks you in the eye. All you can see is his eyes just through the little slit in his mask. And he says, the Bone Legion, huh?
Yes, have you heard of us?
He just nods solemnly. And then he kind of shouts past you. You have no jurisdiction here. And the merchant policeman at the bottom of the ramp says, they killed one of our men. Hand them over to us. The guard looks at you very seriously again already. And he says, is it true?
I'm gonna unsheath my axe, and I'm gonna say, you want us to prove it to you? I can prove it to you right now. I'm not threatening you. I'm threatening those fuckers behind us, and I point my axe at him.
I think he gets it. He just he's standing really close to you, and they're like maybe 10 feet behind you, So he just kind of quietly puts his hand out, like, just like lightly on your chest, just his fingers, and says, like quietly so they can't hear. He says, listen, put your axe down. They have no jurisdiction here. And trust what I do next. And he turns to the other guards and he says, guards, arrest these men. And women. And the other Silk Wardens, come off of the wall, at either side of the door. And come down and start taking you into the massive ballroom chamber beyond. And the merchant policeman yells at the Silk Warden you've been talking to. And he says, this is not right. You'll be hearing from us and our captain. They'll be coming through shortly. And for the last time, the Silk Warden says, you have No jurisdiction here. And they turn grumbling into the crowd and leave. And now you're inside a massive, long, almost Russian-looking, ballroom. And these 3 Silk Wardens just kind of, they don't cuff you or anything. They let you go immediately and don't take any weapons. And the 4th one, pretty soon comes in to join. And he's like, "You're very lucky, but I'm in a bad mood. I hate merchant police."
Oh, well, we found something in common between us then.
You still are.
Thank you.
You're still under arrest. Make no mistake. At least for now, until you see the Reclaimer. Follow me.
See? The name Boating Legion gets us straight to the Reclaimer. A
Or
group of
straight to
rag.
jail.
Well, that's well put, Cora, but a group of regular adventurers, independent contractors, would waiting this afternoon.
Shoot, Cora would like to ask the guy what his name is. What's your name? I'd like to thank you properly.
He turns and looks and he says, "This one has no name.
Oh.
None of us do."
Well, I'm going to call you Tom.
I am a warden like my brothers and sisters. You can address me as such.
Ward?
Ward in.
He just kind of shakes his head like she's not getting it, and then turns and keeps leading you across the ballroom.
If they have no names, then how do they differentiate between each other? Do they have, numbers? Do you have numbers?
He turns and looks at you, and he says, "We have private names that we use with one another. Only in private.
Okay, I see how it works then. Secret names.
We're given a name when we become Silk Wardens. As children. We keep this position for life. It is our great honor. It is how we serve the sun."
Well, that's very noble, and thank you very much, sir, for hopefully helping us figure all this out together.
Don't thank me yet. Wait to see what the Reclaimer decides to do with you. Here. And
He smokes.
yeah. He opens a door at the other end of the room and leads you all up a grand staircase. That kind of brings you up into a very sunny, bright room that is kind of lined with windows. As you step up into the room, you see it is the helm, the bridge of a ship. And it is not above board. It is like a more modern cargo ship or something, where, it's got the windshield built into the side, or rather the front, the nose of the boat. Actually in the boat steering it. It's got a cabin, essentially. But it's big and fancy. And sitting in a big, admiral's chair at a desk, the big map scrawled across it, and a bunch of other books and scrolls and things, is a short little man in a white and gold robe with a moon tattooed on his forehead and just a squeaky bald, head. He looks like Wallace Shawn, but bald. And in priest robes. If you don't know Wallace Shawn, it's...
I really want to try doing an impression, but I just know it's not going to go well.
The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Inconceivable!
I don't know if anyone's ever seen Southland Tales, but he's got this bombshell line where he's like, "I happen to know that that's Brad's, baby!" It's the best line. He's screaming at Mandy Moore.
I'm going to kind of tap Dante on the shoulder and say, "This is your spot. You got this?"
Yeah, I think I can manage?
Well, we got your back.
So the guard introduces you, and then he introduces Topa the Reclaimer to you. And, says, bow to the Reclaimer, like kind of whispers it to you after he introduces Topa. Because Topa just kind of looks at you expecting, respect or something, and kind of his rings out on the table so you can see them, one hand lazily draped over a globe on his desk.
Yeah, I'll grind my teeth and bow.
Yeah, Dante gives him a deep bow.
Oh, it's our great pleasure to make your acquaintance, your opulence.
Cedric does a great big bow.
He's like,
Yeah, I'll curtsy.
yes. The Bone Legion, so what could a bunch of criminals on the run want from someone like me? Why are you wasting my time? He kind of glances at the guard, and the guard shifts a little nervously.
I nudge Dante.
About that, we seek your aid in finding refuge from the merchant police, and we were maybe hoping to exchange our skills for your skills.
Who are you to ask for my help? Why are you even in my city? He kind of motions to the windows that look out across all the boats.
Well, I kind of dragged everyone here. I'm a citizen of your city. It's a beautiful place. I've loved it ever since I was a child. And we were just trying to make our way here to find sanctuary for some children, and we managed that, but now we're a little caught up in our own problems.
I see. You keep faith? The redeeming powers of the sun?
Dante just kind of glances over at Cora and then looks back at Topa, and then kind of just gives him a nod.
He kind of hops up and walks over towards Cora and looks at her and looks to you, squinting, and he's like, what? Why are you looking at her? And he turns and looks at you, Cora, studying you. He's like, do you keep the rituals of the sun?
With all due respect, sir, I'm from a very small town with not a lot of knowledge of these things, and what I was taught growing up, and what you believe, I believe they have the same needs, and we can find a way to say that we all want what's best for who we want what's best for, and I'm here to try. And they didn't pick me, and I didn't pick them, but we're in a mess of trouble, and we could really use your help. I respect you. I don't want to offend nobody.
I see. Well, I must admit, I had a meeting with Inspector Didymus this very morning. He came seeking my audience. About you all. He asked for my cooperation in finding you and turning you in. He told me about your crimes, your bloodlust. You know what I told him?
What?
No.
I told him no, I would not cooperate. But I would not impede his investigation, so long as his men paid for accommodations inside the city. But only after much coaxing from one of my colleagues. You're very lucky, Bone Legion, very lucky.
I would thank you for your benevolence, your graciousness.
I will help you. Yes, I think I will help you. But You must do things for me. There must be penance.
We would love that, wouldn't we? Wouldn't we love to do a favor for the Reclaimer?
Not sure that's what he means, Cedric.
First, you must swear your loyalty to our Lord the Sun, giving up all your false barbaric gods. He kind of glances at Cora. He's like, the old gods are for tourists. Rimspire dwellers. Can't speak. The sun is the ultimate power, ruler of this city, and my heart. If you wish for me to help you, this impossible situation you've put yourselves in, you swear fealty to the sun and to me. And there will be penance, he says with like a very serious look, kind of sinister look, piercing through all of you. What say you?
You go on a bit, sir. Penance. Could you maybe elaborate there?
You give your body to the sun. He like puts a hand up to the sky. He's like, to show you understand what you've done is wrong, and you accept his power. That you live in his dream.
Cedric still doesn't quite get it. Like, he's not putting two and two together. He's like,
Yes, we'll say the words or do the little ritual or whatever you need.
Good. I'm glad we're in agreement. And he's like, we'll start with the penance. Guards and the Silk Wardens start kind of filing in.
I don't think that penance as a start is going to be a very prudent decision for you, Reclaimer.
The guards kind of
No, I
stop.
was going to ask for a huddle.
The guards kind of stop, you know, and look at him and look to you guys before they get over to you even from the door. He just kind of waves them down. They wait by the door for now. And he's like, there is one other way. One other thing that you could do for me that no one else could do. I can't promise to wipe away your bounty, but I can promise you safety while you're in my city. Immunity.
And what would that require?
He kind of glances to the guards, and he shoos them out completely this time. He's like, close the door. Give us privacy. And they, you know, file out, close the door behind him. So they close the door and file out, and he goes back and sits down at his desk and kind of sighs. And he's like, I'm sure you've heard about the barge opening.
It's
Yes.
been on our mind coming up here.
Well, vengeance. That's how I can help you. You give me vengeance. Antiquarians are ruining everything. Stomping all over my rituals. My right. My divine right. They have no right to enter that place. Do what they've done. However, I am at the whims of Prince Raphael. As our church bows to him, above all, I am at the whims of the Church of the Sun Dreamer. I cannot openly take vengeance. They wish for me to let the antiquarians inside the barge. No one should enter. I say no one. And then he kind of turns and looks at all of you. He's like, except for maybe you. I want you to go in, lie in wait, and when the antiquarians enter, I want you to make sure they never leave. Understand me? Never. If you can find a way to close the barge behind you, I'll pay you double. And you speak of this to no one.
So you want us to be hitmen for you?
Saboteurs.
Yes, yes.
But I promise you immunity. And 2 gold crowns each.
Well,
we are
I'll be the
being
first one to agree. And Zuzu stands up and like looks around the room.
If we are being promised immunity, we will need some sort of guarantee or receipts to ensure that that is resolved between us. If you happen to have a stick, we can make use of that. It's not uncommon for folks to split a stick in half as means to guarantee that a deal is kept and a written contract as well.
We have better methods, my boy. And he says, wardens! And the guards come in the room, and he's like, fetch me, let's see, Gaius. And they like bring in a little man who with a abacus and some scrolls and writing utensils, and he's like, take a letter to the prince. And he dictates this letter that is like, the Bone Legion are citizens of my city. The merchant police have no, jurisdiction here as, per your jurisprudence, please, on my behalf, do me this favor. And, make it known to the rulers of Sarkhan and the merchant police that they shall not harm the Bone Legion in my city. He's like, but if you get found out, we're done. If you're caught, this is over.
How these things usually go, sir.
I suppose this is going to be the best we're going to get. I agree.
Oh, yes, we're happy to be your murder squad. Absolutely, your gracious benevolence.
Cora nods. She just purses her lips and nods and squeaks out a smile from her lips.
Cedric winks at Cora, like turns and kind of just winks at her, like.
Gaius is like, Topa's like, Gaius, make 500 copies of my letter. Post it on every board in the city. Gaius is like, yes, my lord. Like, dips out.
Righto.
Right away.
Topa's
Are
like,
we like, well,
good. Now that we've been in agreement on this matter, he's like, leave here. You have the run of the city. Antiquarians plan to enter the barge tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. I'm gonna be the first one to get the hell out of there.
Yep.
on your heels.
Pardon us, we need to get to planning.
Yes, we do.
Alright, so you guys leave his office. Or his bridge.
Helm.
Yeah, the helm of his ship. And head back down into the ballroom and then back down into like the main common area of the inside of the Ark city area. There are inns and apartments. Anything you need here if you want to stay here. It'd probably be more expensive though. Of course, you can always go back to the Salty Minnow as well. Or do something else.
I think as soon as Cedric was out of earshot of the guards, he would kind of say to the group,
I'm not killing anyone for that little nitwit.
I was sure it wasn't gonna just be turning over to a sun folk. Just wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah, this don't sit too tight with me.
I figure we're in no worse position if it all falls apart. I say we get early access to the barge. We can take anything that seems useful to us. I have no problems taking it to him. The rest, I would prefer the people of the city guard it. I could care less about this reclaimer. And maybe we can make a deal with the antiquarians.
Thinking something like that too, but I'm not sure what kind of if they're dealing folk.
If we are planning to not follow through on this deal, we will need to hightail it out of this city once our deed is done. Are we all in accord on that?
Dante?
Reclaimer's not someone you want to double cross. The repentance is what we saw outside of the ark. Those people splayed across those orbs. That is what repentance is.
Oh.
And that's considered a good thing for people who are trying to pay off their debts. So I can't imagine what the worst case scenario would be.
Well, what's our alternative? I don't want to kill in cold blood for him.
Maybe the Bone Legion's not somebody he wants to double cross. I mean, how can we trust him? Once we've done this for him, I didn't get a good vibe, if you know what I mean.
No, I know what you mean.
Let's take stock real quick.
I've got a bit more confidence that if we do this, that none of you need to get your hands dirty. I can do it, and two, that he can't. He's not supposed to be doing this. If he gets found out that he went against what the prince wanted, it's going to be bad for him. The prince wants these antiquarians to go in. So once we complete this, we'll have a little piece of leverage over him, you might say.
Yes, but he's also got an army of Silk Wardens at his disposal.
Yeah, but it's not. Sometimes it's not about fighting, head on. I know I'm not one to be saying those words lightly, but, sometimes it is about playing the game, and he seemed to be regretful at how he wasn't in power and this prince was. So,
And you got
it
a
seems
point.
like he's got. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go. I didn't mean to interrupt.
It seems like he's got a lot of different pressures on him that are holding him to certain standard of action that he has to take, and following the prince's orders seems to be one of them. And he seems rather upset about it and rather set on making sure the public sees him following those orders. So like I said, I think we might have some leverage if we do this, although it is rather bloodthirsty to be, setting up an ambush and killing random people for a
Not
cult
random
leader,
people. Not all of them.
Well, I mean, most of the antiquarians are just junk traders. I mean, they are pretty random.
Random to us, but
But
we call
if
that
we-
chicken shit where I'm from.
The antiquarians.
we recall,
No.
The antiquarians are not junk traders. Let me just
No.
reinstate that one more
Stop.
time. They are
The
very separate.
antiquarians-
Antiquarians are very, very rich people. They're like Indiana Jones like assholes. Junk traders are like homeless psychopaths that live in the desert and steal.
Okay.
But if I,
Antiquarians are junk
Sorry,
traders.
sorry.
Got it.
but if I
Um,
recall, some of the first people who were going to be sent in were just regular folk like Ivan. Yes.
Mm-hmm. They were
Which
hired
means that
on.
the people that we would be killing wouldn't even be antiquarians. It would be people looking to make a silver piece or two. Innocents.
They would be citizens of this town, people that I grew up with and have played with, played with their children and worked next to.
What are we even talking about? I'm not killing anyone for this beast of a
Exactly.
man.
But I am also saying that we need to be taking stock of what we have to lose, and right now we have dragged Lyrandel into something very dangerous. If we don't complete our end of the bargain, she's as swept up in this as we are. And I look over at Lyrandel, who, as I assume, has been with us the whole time.
Yep. Sorry, I missed the last line though. What'd you say?
Fuck, what did I say? Lyrandel is swept up in this just
Oh.
like we are, which means that her establishment and her livelihood are just as much in jeopardy if we do not determine the best course of action going forward.
I'm sorry. Can I just get a little clarification? Who is being sent into the barge?
Regular ass people hired by the
Citizens-
antiquarians.
They-
It's
Yeah.
out of
The antiquarians
character.
hire
Who is
people
being-
from Mark City.
Oh, they just hired. It has nothing to do with the antiquarians.
Yeah. Anybody looking to make a silver? Or
No.
a
The
barge
antiquarians
from
are the ones who learned how to open the barge because they've been
Hmm.
here researching, and they've been set up here for a while. They finally did it. They got the barge open. There was a lot of contention. They wanted to go in. The local leadership said no. They got the prince involved. The prince said no, they should go in. I want to know what's in there. And these people are experts at ancient relics, etc., and have brought me many magical goods. Let them go in. And so now they are, but yeah, their method of going in is like, again, like think Indiana Jones, like the Nazi digs. Like the Nazis are just hiring local Egyptians because they're fucking
Yeah,
assholes.
okay,
You know what I
okay.
mean? And sending them into these tombs. And that's kind of essentially what's happening here. The antiquarians are hiring. They're just using their big pool of money to hire local schmucks to go in with spears to this place and check it out.
And so our job isn't necessarily to kill the local schmucks. It's to
It
kill
is.
the antiquarians.
No,
It is to kill the local schmucks who are going in there. We ambush them and we kill all of them. That is what we are being tasked to do.
And
I
try to
personally
steal the
am
arc
not
behind us.
exactly inclined to follow through on that, which means that our next steps, we need to be very careful about what we do.
I mean, this is hell. Like, because now if we don't do this, we've got another city on our ass. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
and a cult. Like, I don't know what to do.
Well, there's gonna be a way.
If we
you
just
gotta
run
do
into
the
the
right
jungle, we're just as screwed. I mean,
How
we're
are
gonna have
we?
macros here anyway.
How are we looking for like silk wardens around us?
I mean, you're like in the thick of the public now, and you're in a mercantile center, you know, so it's all shops. You probably don't even see one in sight right now.
Okay, we're okay, but I'm still gonna say we should find somewhere a little bit more private for the time being. I don't think we're in that much trouble here, but also it's kind of loud.
Yeah.
We should go back to the Sandy Minnow.
You can go back to Sandy Minnow. You can pick out a nearby tavern or inn on the street here as well, if you just want something quick.
We should also keep in mind that merchant police may not abide by whatever those signposts are being put up, and they might come for us anyway.
Yeah, also keep in mind it's going to take them, you know, they don't have a copying machine. It's going to take them a while to make those copies and distribute them.
Which means right now it might be safest to stay in this immediate area.
Well, let's find somewhere inconspicuous and
Yeah,
figure this out.
Lyrandel would be like, I know a place. Follow me. And she'll take you to a little tiny 2-story bar. It's a little building built right up against the wall of the room, because essentially you're in a gigantic room in the heart of a ship. And this building is like built right up into the wall, so it's got like just a tiny little alley that runs back behind it, and it's this kind of like jagged, half bent over old building. And the bar is called The Head, and it's got like a toilet seat hanging from the sign.
Wait.
But you go in and, there's plenty of little dark booths to slink back into, and you're not the only ones in there who are using the booths for such.
Oh, this bar is composed entirely of dark corners for people to brew in.
It is literally all people rooting in dark corners.
Yes, baby, finally.
Some guy's like, my friend, he doesn't like you.
Yeah, my friend, he doesn't.
I don't like you either.
I don't like you. I like those
I like
guys,
you.
actually. I actually like those guys. So we're at an impasse, folks. We have now gone from being out of the pan and into the fire. Well, into another pan, which may then be dumped into the fire. We're getting double panned here.
It's a lose-lose situation.
Well, I mean, I was thinking about what you said earlier, Zuzu, about how, we know people are going to know that he hired us. If that's what ends up happening and the word gets out, I mean, this guy needs to get gone, really. I mean, I would love it if we could find a way to get him out of
Remember
this
what he
position.
said. If we get caught, the deal is off, which means if any way we're caught or he's caught, it's all over for us.
But people are going to know he gave us a pardon or non-extradition. I mean, they're going to see those notes. People are going to know. We paid 500 of them. What is he going to say? Oh, that's something else I gave him? Didn't kick him out for? I think that we could at least maybe try. I don't know. I hope it doesn't get there.
Lyrandil will say, yes, but if you are caught, you can just feign innocence. Say he didn't know you were going to go in there and do that.
We're scapegoats.
He can denounce you.
I just think, we'd say, well, you saw the note. He let us go free. You don't think what do you think, you just being nice? It's not a great plan, but,
He's, royalty in a sense around here. He doesn't have to be nice. So if he chooses to, it seems like a blessing from the high priest or the cleric or whatever you worship.
Dante, how much do you know about this religion of theirs? This, what would they call it? The sun god or whatever? Sun dreamer?
It is the major religion of Tridia.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm familiar with it then. How much do we actually know about it? Because I, for one, have never attended a single mass.
It's
always avoided it myself.
It's for pretty much everywhere else but here. It is not a religion of the people. It is a religion of the nobles and the Goldborn, which are essentially, rich merchants who are nobles. This is really the only city where it's a little bit more of a people's religion, but even so, it's still mostly for the people in the ship who are like the middle and upper class of this city. People down in the slums don't worship it that much. But the penance thing doesn't happen as much elsewhere, but it does happen. Cedric mentioned the Sunspire. They do a lot more funky shit with sunlight than what you guys are even seeing right now there.
I'm not opposed to taking someone's head, and that's someone I think we all know who I'm referring to, but what I'm wondering is, do we know of any ways that we could make a sudden... How do we make his leaving office look like a sign from God, rather than just an assassination attempt?
Oh, good gracious. We could certainly attempt a charm spell before that.
I've got a big magnifying glass. We could cook him.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Cora?
Oh, I got nothing. I was just joking.
Oh, I missed your joke. I'm sorry.
All right.
This is not ideal. But if it comes down to it, I would be willing to separate his head from his shoulders. But first, we have to.
Thinking about revolution.
I ain't thinking about revolution.
Why don't
I guess
we
I
think
am.
about? These diggers are locals. These workers are locals. Can't we find a way for them to maybe strike tomorrow or
Spare of a little
not
discourse.
show up?
I like that.
I mean, then the antiquarians would be the ones to have to venture in, and I personally am a rather seasoned treasure hunter myself, and I have very little sympathy for my fellow treasure hunters. I know much of their characters, so um, I have no problem taking on the antiquarians.
Look, we know that Avin and some of his boys are the first ones in tomorrow. We also know where we could sign up to volunteer for this work. What if we signed up to work for the antiquarians when we're really working for, Topa? We convince Avin and all of them not to go in so that we can be the first to go in. And
See,
then
I like that.
there's no one that has to die. Because we're
I
not going
like
to kill
this
ourselves.
a lot.
Lyrindil
I
will
like-
Lyrindil will pipe up and be like, I know the Avon took that job because they're paying better than anything in the city. They're paying half up front.
Which means
Well, I
it's
mean-
going to be hard to convince him to go on strike.
Is there anything we can?
We're
we
gonna
can
get
keep him
paid
riled
2
up?
gold. I could guarantee him some of my pay.
2 gold crayons, I think he said.
Gold crayons, those things are limited edition, I heard.
Yeah,
So-
but they never look like gold. They always look bronze.
So
Yeah.
what current? Oh my god! What currently is stopping people from just going into this golden barge?
The antiquarians, or probably the Silk Wardens, are guarding it right now. Until the antiquarians start their expedition. But they
I wish we
would.
could start a fight between, like start a fight among the people and like make it so they don't want to. But I don't know how to do it.
You could. The Silk Wardens there are instructed to let you in, though, so you guys can like sneak in the night. If you want.
I'm wondering if there's any way we can just permanently close off this golden barge. I don't even know if that's something that we have the information to answer in any earnesty, but
That would be
He
the
did
most
say-
bloodless option. You could go in
Well, and that keeps.
right now.
Sorry, go ahead.
That would be the most bloodless option. You could go in right now, explore all night, and if you find a way to close it and get out before anyone else can go in, then problem solved.
Well, and we fulfilled our deal that. Well, we didn't fulfill the deal of killing him, but we didn't let him go in.
Vengeance in a different manner is what that would be. And yes, it's a great idea because he did say he'd pay us double if we closed it behind us.
and quite frankly, I want to take some shit out of there.
Yes, it would be
Yeah.
quite interesting to see what was inside.
Let's go. I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's the best idea.
I think it's brilliant.
Should we take a little time, maybe prepare, or is everybody?
I don't know what else we could prepare. I mean, I don't
Well,
have
I
much
mean-
funding.
Anybody
I'm out of money.
read their books and said their prayers and written their wills out or anything like that?
I'm ready
I'll
to
leave
go.
everything to you, Cedric.
Yes, I'm as ready from an arcane perspective as I could be.
I think Lyrindil would voice kind of what I'm saying in chat. She would be like, but what if you get stuck in there? What if you're in there for a long time?
If we get stuck in there, then I'm still not going to be taking my axe to anyone who don't deserve it. I say we hightail it out of the city. Take our chances in the wilds.
I think if we get stuck in there, we die in there.
Yeah. Well, I think what they're saying is that we might get stuck in there and find a way out, but it would be over an extended period of time. Like, instead of going in there, finishing in one night, we might be locked in a dungeon for 3 days. And after that point, we would have failed in our objective to stop them from coming in. And when we walk out into sunlight, we're functionally dead men. And woman.
Thank you.
I think there's like a torture chamber in there or something.
I don't know what's in there.
Massive. It's bigger than the arc you're in now.
I have no idea what's in there, but I know there's going to be traps. I know there's going to be dangers, and there might even be monsters that have been slumbering for hundreds, if not thousands of years.
Already, you have a wild imagination.
I have a very.
Whatever's behind closed doors, you seem to assume the worst about.
Yeah, that's how I stay alive. And if you remember, we fought mummies and living statues in that crypt.
And you're wearing the armor that's a product of that journey.
And that
Yeah,
Displacer Beast,
so?
don't forget that.
Yeah.
So
Statues.
sometimes risks come with reward.
I'm.
And if we sit here fumbling over risks every single time that they come up, I mean, we have to do something. Either we run or we do something.
You're saying this like I'm not saying that we don't go in there. I'm saying that we need to be cognizant of what is in there and that we need to be prepared for it when it happens. It's going to be dangerous, but we'll be able
Yeah,
to solve
yes.
it once we're in there.
Yeah, yes.
Before
We
we
will already.
go
We will.
in, should we come up with a plan B in case things go awry and we have to run? Where
Absolutely.
we go, which direction?
I can only think of one place that may be accommodating to providing sanctuary for folk like us, and it ain't a short journey. There's this place called Lucent Port somewhere. It's far away. I don't even know if we'd be able to make it, but it's the only place I can think of that we might have some measure of safety.
Well, travel has not been easy for us in the past. I mean, getting here was hard, and we had to pay tons just to get smuggled here. We're not going to be able to keep getting smuggled from place to place, I can't imagine.
No, it ain't gonna be easy, that's for damn sure.
Well, what does anybody need? I mean, does anybody need anything like from the store that they just don't have the money for? Like, Cora's like I'm ready to get everybody stocked up to do this, but I just can't imagine what y'all might need down there. If y'all need something or got something you need, let's get it, you know?
Well, I got some good stock for us going down there. You know, torches, rations, oil, rope, flint steel, everything we could use. Hopefully, we're set for the journey. But if we have anything last minute to take care of, yeah, now's the time.
I'll say that the rare shop is also available. Except for the red potion.
Ooh.
Which you know. I mean, there is red potion, but only the, 3 more that were available.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and Cora will tell everyone that there were Cure Light scrolls. Like, I didn't grab any, but I can only do it once. So if y'all think I'm going to need it, I'm happy to go back and get one. I never really walk right into danger. It seems to find me, so.
No, holy water might not be a terrible idea for going to the crypt and to a tomb like this. It's not even a tomb. It's just
The barge.
A big
a
gold
barge.
boat.
Might be undead things in there, is what I'm saying, regardless. Holy water's far as I. And Cora, does holy water actually work on the undead, or is that a myth?
I don't know. I don't know what holy water does in this game.
Yeah, I think it would probably do something.
Well, I can make them scared of me just by being me. They run off.
That's true.
So that's something I got going for me. And if they try to poison us or paralyze us, I'm pretty good at keeping out of that too. But I just whatever y'all think.
While everyone's shopping, can Dante try to memorize this obscuring misspell that he bought?
Yeah, sure. You can just work on it at the bar.
There's disguises. I don't know. We talked about it.
Yeah. Just roll your what's your spellcasting stat, Dante? Charisma or
I think we've
it's
been
wisdom, right?
doing. I think so. Druid is wisdom.
Yeah, I mean,
So.
in this game, spellcasters are only inter wisdom and or wisdom
Yeah.
caster.
Ugh, that looks like I failed to memorize it.
Yeah, you don't like lose it. You can try again later. You know.
Yeah.
I think he's under a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
His own head.
probably super dark in here as well and noisy.
Bad handwriting.
Cool. Are you guys gonna shop for any other stuff from the rare shop or?
I can't afford anything for the rare shop.
Yeah.
Well, you got to roll each item individually. Might get a good price on something.
It's times 5. No, even with the lowest possible die roll, it's still out of my budget.
Really? Even 10? You can't afford 10 silver pieces?
I have 7 coins to my name.
Oh.
I'm a poor boy right now. I'm looking at like the common stuff to see if there's anything else, but
All good.
they don't happen to have like I don't know, darts or anything. Where would that be?
Yeah, I don't
If
think
that's an
think
option.
Black Hack lists darts as a weapon, but you know I like them as a GM. You can buy them for the same price as, let's say, crossbow bolts. If there, I think all ammo is just 1 coin for UD8.
Yeah.
In that case, yeah, I'll grab some darts so I have a ranged option just
Oh,
in
if-
case.
Just
Why
take
not?
mine.
No. You need those more than I need them. This is just emergency for just in case. And I only have 1 arm because it's like,
I will never use them now that I have the staff of command. I will try to do other stuff 100% of the time.
They're a great last chance weapon, though, like you said.
yeah, real great last chance. I don't want you being unarmed. Even if you think that magic stuff will always get you through, it doesn't hurt to have a practical solution at your hand. I ain't taking that. And it's only 1 coin. I can afford 1 coin.
Oh, it's 1 coin.
Yeah.
I see darts as more of like a dungeoneering object than a weapon.
It's something I can throw at them in case my axe can't reach them.
Always dip them in a little poison. You'll
Hey,
No,
guy,
said
I
that.
ain't got poison. Go away from our table.
Yeah, this weird guy.
This weird guy just walked up talking about poison. I ain't got money for poison.
This is my shop, you little shit. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, shit. Oh, no.
He's right here. He's looking right at us.
Oh, no.
Okay, well, I guess if no one needs any, like, I guess I'll just go ahead and buy a scroll of Cure Light before we leave, since I have the money for it, and no one needs to borrow any money from Cora. Like,
The
can't hurt if we're running into danger.
The other option, Cora, that I don't remember what the prices were. It might be cheaper. You could get a blue potion instead.
50 gold for a blue potion.
What's the level 1 scroll?
I
5.
think it was the same.
You
Was
should do
it
the blue potion is probably a safer option, because if the scroll backfires, it can hurt you.
Okay, and I'm so sorry. The blue potion was.
It just lets you cast a spell without.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's so smart.
having to
Thank
lose
you
it.
so much. I will do that. I'll grab a mason jar of blue potion.
Yep. Right.
I'll pour it in my own mason jar that I keep in my purse.
One of those clasp-on lids.
Yeah, a ball jar.
Love the clasp. I love the clasp style, like candy jar style lid though. They're like
They call them bearing here.
a
Bearing jars.
like a Grolsch lid. Cool. Should we take a quick break? I gotta pee really fast.
Yeah.
We'll
Quick
play
fire.
Cool.
Play till like ish.
Sure.
Perfect.
Yeah. Has everything in place for Preparation Age. What's the lotion on the basket?
All right, I'm back.
I'm here too. I just had a cup of coffee. No, I'm just kidding.
Only me.
We gotta sow some discourse. I wish we could sow discourse in the city, and then get the guys against the short man, Lord Farquaad. But I'm not good at that. I would
I'm
love to
out.
take this guy down though.
Yeah, I was thinking like let all the townspeople into the barge.
Oh, I love that. Because then we'd be heroes and they would protect us, you think?
Well, then we would definitely be heroes to the townspeople.
I mean, getting the small folk on our side or whatever would be... It would put a huge target on us, but it would also be... Maybe protect us somewhere. Lead the revolution.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hi.
Lauren bought Muddy Buddies, and
Oh,
I love
so
Muddy
good.
Buddies. I don't know what those are.
it's like
Puppy chow.
Puppy Chow, Chex Mix, like dipped in chocolate, covered in
Powdered sugar.
powdered sugar.
Wow.
You're just having like all the best stuff because it's also got peanut butter, I think, or
Mhm.
they do at least when we make them. But
Those
last time you were talking about Rice Krispie treats. Now you got Muddy Buddies, like childhood nostalgia snack time.
Trying to quit smoking weed, I gotta replace it with something else. Trying to cut down.
Yeah.
I want one Muddy Buddy, please.
Mm-hmm.
One
There's
bag.
Dante turns all of his rations into Muddy Buddies.
Oh, they're
They
all
won't
Muddy Buddies from
sustain
now
him for
on.
long.
It's canon. All of our rations are Muddy Buddies.
I'm here. I'm here.
So we all hate this short guy, for sure. I loved meeting him though. When he started talking, I was like, okay, I'm so glad we came to talk to this guy. He's so interesting. But I hate his ass.
Well, I love a good dungeon, but even more, I love a dungeon with a good motivation to actually go into.
Yes.
I just love to take this guy down. I would love to see him get the shit he deserves. A little stinker.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways you could go about it.
Yeah. Like, I know it isn't the smartest decision, but, taking his head would be real cool.
I would love to see him like be humiliated in a way that would feel like much more apropos. Like he's got so much pride. He's trying to prove himself so hard. He's such a little chicken shit. Like, and then strap him up to a rock and make him burn in the sun or whatever. Or not do that so he's not noble for his god.
He's just making preparation H happen. He's ready for the preparations H.
Ah, yes, fine, sir. Preparation H is ready.
Apply it now,
pres-
Gaius.
I presume that's a reference to something that I don't actually know.
What?
So
Austin Powers.
Yeah, the Austin Powers reference.
okay.
Scott
It's-
evil. Scott,
I-
what is it, Scott?
Last time I watched Austin Powers was years ago. I don't remember all the references.
Popped in my head
Watching it
'cause I
now.
was eating chocolate ice cream. I was like, yes, I'd love some chocolate ass cream. What? What are you talking? I don't get it. What you talking about?
I gotta stop eating these so I can talk.
It's all good.
Now I gotta get some water. Hold on. Too much muddy buddy.
Need milk.
Muddy buddy.
Charlie's a mess.
I gotta go swig some milk out of the fridge.
Yes,
No.
yes. Water,
Be
money,
careful.
money.
Very bad.
Yeah, you can milk anything with
Yeah, white
nipples.
water. Milk.
Milk.
If you go non-fat, at least.
I go fat.
Yeah.
I go
of
whole,
course.
yeah, all day.
I like to choke a little bit that my milk's so thick.
Yeah.
I definitely want there
buttermilk.
to be a layer of cream on top that I have to scrape off.
Yeah.
Don't tempt me with a good time, y'all.
I actually have a milkman. I got the Oberweis thing when the pandemic started. So like they come to my house and drop milk off on Mondays and yogurt, and it's so nice. I have a family full of cereal freaks.
Huh.
It's expensive, but now they're also spoiled on that delicious Oberweis milk.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. So, you all are still at the Head Tavern, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing next? What's the plan? It's really early. It's, let's see, probably 9 a.m.
And he wasn't gonna see us, but what a jerk.
Yeah, you got there at like 8 a.m.
I say we go now, so we have the bloodless option, and then we can, we may just be able to stay on his good. I mean, stay on his good side, or we may see an opportunity to really flip the script. But I think we've got to have some out. Like, we have to have some plan in action that there can be a positive outcome. I think that right now is getting in there, getting out, and shutting it down.
I wholeheartedly agree. We ready?
Yeah.
I am.
I think as much as we can, sometimes planning too much can just send everything awry.
All
All right. Give me a second. I gotta go hit the head.
So you guys aren't gonna. Did anyone buy anything? So I guess you
How
actually.
about a blue potion?
You're not in the Head anymore. You're out shopping now. Yeah. Except for Dante.
Oh, sure. When I said hit the head, I meant go to the bathroom.
Oh, sure. But I mean, when I asked a minute ago if you were in the Head Tavern.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
You guys are out and about in the markets inside the ship. And imagine at this point, because Dante fails, he just gives up and decides to join you.
Mm-hmm.
As you're browsing through the markets, I'm gonna have Zuzu make a wisdom. Wait, Zuzu, you did buy something. Yeah, I mean, everyone can make a wisdom check. Everyone.
I rolled a 10.
Hell yeah, 19, baby.
Big roller.
Oh.
Cedric, you gonna?
My thing's not working. My character sheet must have died. My separate window.
Oh yeah, you'll have to close it and pop it back out. Sorry.
Cedric's dead. Oh no.
I just rolled regular old d20. I fail.
Okay. Cool. Dante. I think you notice a very young person. I'm gonna say like maybe 16-year-old dude with a cart, pulled by a big old oxen, and he's got his face mostly obscured. He's wearing, you know, like some desert clothing, and he is like, you know, just buying in bulk from like the shop next to the one you guys are in. Huge amounts of torches, oil, like they're giving him like barrels of oil and pitch and like other camping and just kind of general survival supplies, and loading it into his cart, which doesn't seem anything off about that as it is, until you notice that he has a black candle tattooed on his wrist. And as he's buying this stuff, he is like talking to the merchant, exchanging money, and the merchant's turning around and grabbing things and ordering his men to carry things out to the cart. And the kid like just slips a couple things off of the table, like into his sleeve.
Dante sees him, doesn't say anything, and just kind of keeps an eye on him and kind of tries to trail behind him a bit.
Okay.
Kind of like hover around to keep watch on him.
So yeah, he goes like up to a few more shops, and then a few more people like come and meet up with him, like maybe a little older than him, also dressed similarly, dark colors, face mostly covered. You notice eye tattoos on the back of one of their necks, like the candle with the eye. And they meet up and talk for a minute, and they start heading for the exit. And I think as they leave with your, what'd you get for your wisdom check? And I think you might notice that there is something in the back of their cart, like tucked between all the carts, rolled up in a bunch of cloth. Looks like a dead body. And then it starts squirming. Like they have someone in their cart, seemingly maybe kidnapped. You're not entirely certain what's going on there.
Ooh.
And I think maybe one of the guards comes over and like conks him on the head, like looks left and right, nobody sees. They like knocks him on the fucking head, and then he slides one of the crates over so you can't. Like probably no one would have seen it if they hadn't been looking.
Dante starts to follow them.
All right, Dante breaks away from the group pretty significantly at this point, but you guys are all shopping. They go to leave the Ark. Are you going to keep following them?
He probably looks back to see if there's any of one of our group.
Yeah, they're all like
nearby.
They're all at the same table at the like a storefront nearby, looking at assorted goods out on the quote unquote street.
So Dante does the most obnoxious thing he can think of and just straight whistles at all of them.
All right.
And like kind of nods his head in the direction of these guys, and then just continues to follow him, hoping that somebody kind of gets the signal.
You give like the fingers and the lip whistle. So
yes.
Other people turn and look at you too.
Yeah. So I'm like breaking through this bustling noise with like the loud, sharp whistle, and then being like, didn't think that through.
The Black Candle guys also stop and just turn and look at you for a minute, but they just dismiss it and keep going. And they head out the hatch and start going down the ramp. Everybody kind of goes back about their business.
Dante follows.
All right, rest of the group, are you going to follow too?
Where in the hell is he going?
I don't know, but we needed something better than that whistle.
Yeah, what are you thinking? Nothing's come to mind. Maybe we should get like a real whistle instead of
We
like...
had one for sale. How about woo
shit.
loo loo? Snap call.
Woo loo loo?
Woo loo loo. That's what we used to call for snap.
Okay, I mean, I guess. I mean, I ain't got a better suggestion.
It makes me think that song Butters sings. What is it? Woo loo loo, I've got.
It's actually from King of the Hill when they go on that snipe hunt. they call woo.
I've been on many snipe hunts. Oh no, it's Butter Song is Lulu.
Yeah.
That's what it makes me think of, though.
I don't know why that King of the Hill episode popped into my head where they're
Yeah.
all out in the woods.
That's a good one. I love King of the Hill.
Yeah.
Classic. Okay. So he follows. You guys follow him out of the arc and down the ramp.
Best not leave him alone. Goddamn.
The ramp
Nope.
is, like a 60-foot long ramp down to the sand. It's super wide. It's littered with people. You pick your way through the crowd, and they start going off amongst the boats and alleyways and roads of the lower city, quote unquote. The desert dune portion of the city, and Dante kind of ducks back behind some crates and stuff. Of course, you pass by all the Penance again. But Dante ducks behind some crates and watches them as they stop for a minute and kind of fuck with their cartwheel as they hit the sand. I think you finally are all able to catch up to him.
Dante, what the hell?
Those men are Black Candle, and they're buying a lot of supplies, but that's not what worries me. What's worrying me is that there appears to be a person on their cart, and I'm not sure if they're fully alive or dead. They moved, and then someone hit them. And I've also kind of got a suspicion that it's our burden to deal with. If that makes any sense.
I don't want to say this, but I don't know if we can be using our time in this manner. We ain't got a lot of it. We need to get to the barn as soon as possible. I'm done shopping. I'm ready to go.
Zuzu, do you
So,
Sorry, go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
I was
No,
saying-
you're good. Go ahead.
I would say, I wonder if Zuzu has any motivation to keep going since they're Black Candle, or if the barge is more important.
I mean, the barge is more important for me. Just because, I don't know, we need to do something to get the heat off of us, and that's what Zuzu's thinking about.
So you're saying there's somebody that's kidnapped and needs help in there, and it didn't feel right to you.
Yes, but that's because if you've noticed, we've been missing somebody amongst us for a little while.
Do you
Who?
mean Awa?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And if you remember correctly, he's had his ties into some shady dealings. And we did kind of promise that we would protect him, or at least keep an eye on him.
You know, if we could try to go rescue him, this could throw our entire schedule out of whack in a way that we may not be able to get back.
Let's just go take a quick look and see if it's our. If it's not, just a little time lost. If it is, well, we'll deal with that bridge when we cross it.
I hate bridges.
Just wanted to inform everybody. If everyone thinks Awa will be fine on his own, or if it's not even Awa, it could just be anybody else. I mean, we can ignore it. I had a weird feeling. That's all.
I think it's someone in trouble. I think we probably should look into it.
Yeah, you can keep following them easily. They get their cartwheel fixed up and continue rolling off towards the edge of the city. It looks like they're actually heading to leave the city, possibly.
Maybe we could make it so they're not traveling quite so easily. They might hit a bump in the road, and the cart, everything in it might just tumble out. Any way we could do something like that?
I don't have the ability to do anything like that, not that I'm aware of.
I mean,
How
cause
many
crash.
people are with this cart?
Only 3. And one of them's like 16.
Cedric, can you make some when they, is there anything around you could make it your staff get tangled up in their wheels or something with the?
Yeah, are there any plants around?
Or
Oh, you know what? I'll stop their horses.
Yeah, it's a big oxen, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
and another, I don't like saying this. Could you put them to sleep?
Well, if I stopped their oxen, and they were there for, well, I don't know. No. I don't think I could.
Unbelievable. All right.
I could, well, yes, not at the present moment. I couldn't put them to sleep.
Are you gonna wait for them to leave the city, like follow them out of the city and do this? Is that the idea?
Yeah, we'd wait till they were isolated, probably.
I mean, our protection ends at the city limits. Because technically, you don't even have the protection yet. At least not in writing.
Dante, do you have a charm spell prepared?
Yes, I do.
Well, I do as well. Well, in a way, the staff allows me to do it in my own way, but it's just a boy there with 2 men. I think between the 2 of us, and I could stop their oxen for as long as we needed until we got up there.
So you're thinking diplomatic approach. We stop them here, we make them feel real good, and we just talk to them and see what's going on?
Yes, we'll be their friends and allies. They'll certainly show us what they've got back there. And if we play our cards right, they might send him along with us.
I know this is a good idea, and I'm all for it. But in order, just for, well, I know we only have so much usage of our arcane abilities, and we got a big thing coming up, and I'd hate to use it to just talk to a guy on the side of the road if there's anything else we can do. I was thinking maybe you just get some plants to tie up them front wheels or wrap around that oxen, and then while they're all looking at it up front, we just try to sneak a peek in the back.
You know what? I think we need something better than that. Whatever magic can do for them this year, we can't fucking afford it. We need a practical solution. We need a distraction up front.
Yeah, you're also gonna lose a couple hours if you're waiting for them to get out of the city, like out of sight of people.
I don't think we let them get out of the city. I think that is dumb work on our part.
Well, we can.
I can control plants and control animals and charm. It doesn't expend any arcane energy. I can channel it to the staff.
Oh, cool.
Remind me, do they know that you're casting a spell on them? So if I don't know, does magic always work?
They do know that you're casting a spell on them. Also, your concentration ends if you move, right? Or is it just for animals?
The charm spell is much more
Yeah. Forgiving.
yeah, it's much they're basically charmed forever. They can resist.
Mm-hmm.
It lasts indefinitely, and it ends if canceled by the wielder or dispelled.
Yeah.
And they would regard me as a trusted friend, and would come to my defense.
Yes.
They would
if they
obey my commands.
If they do save it, though, they can tell that you were magically.
Yes.
All right, fine. If I provide y'all with a distraction up front, can you make use of that?
Yes, if you wish to, I could just magically tell the oxen to stop if you'd rather.
I think a practical solution is a better option for this. You want to stop the oxen? Fine, go ahead. We'll still need someone up there to make sure that no eyes are looking back towards the rear of the carriage.
Are these guys riding on the cart or
Uh,
walking beside it?
I think that they are all riding it.
I could pretend they ran over my foot or something.
We could just ignore it. Honestly, it's dangerous. We don't, we don't want to be on the bad side of a thieves guild, the merchants police, and the silk wardens, do we?
It's a lot to bet on. Honestly, the most that we could think of it's Awa is that there's Black Candle and Awa's missing. I am personally not invested in Awa as much as I am the rest of you.
Well, I'd hope not. And I'm not either, but I mean, if Dante says what he saw looked nefarious, I mean, I can't just. I don't know how we could just sit by and let it go.
I mean, I'm sure it's nefarious, but sticking our nose in every ill deal that crosses our path is liable to get us killed.
But I think there's a reason he saw it. The mother showed this to him. I mean, that's just what I believe. He wouldn't have saw it. I mean, none of us saw it. It's something. It's all too. I don't know. I just think it's what's right, and we've always done what's right. I mean, since I've known y'all, and it's important.
I'll tell the docs to come back. They'll have no choice in the matter.
And
We
won't
just need
start
to
a
do
fight.
this quickly. We just need to do this quickly. If we're gonna do it, let's do it. Let's stop the ox. I'll go talk to these fools, and I'm gonna start walking towards the carriage. I'll start a distraction. So yeah, Zuzu's gonna start walking towards the carriage. I assume we've been whispering behind them.
Yeah.
Can you make the animal do
yeah.
anything, Andy?
Yeah, I mean,
What can you make it do? I mean, could you make it like get diarrhea?
No, I can make it. I can command it. It has to.
Unless he can automatically get diarrhea on command.
Yeah.
Yes. No saving throws allowed. It
It's
just.
a very talented ox.
I can see it, so I think I would just make it stop.
Okay. Yeah, it just stops in place. The man whips it a few times. You see him whipping it, yelling. He hops off the cart, walks up to the ox, and starts pushing it, and just lets out a. "Brrr." Zuzu approaches up, from behind.
You got a stubborn ox there, huh? And I'm just gonna start making the stupidest, most annoying small talk about this ox and how oxes are really stubborn and you can't whip them all the time, and just be laughing at these dudes and just making an ass of myself.
I mean, he's just trying to ignore you, I think is best. But he's just like, look, we don't need any help.
I'm gonna start patting the ox and be like, "Oh, you're all good, boy. Don't worry about these guys." And I'm just gonna kind of be glancing back and seeing if my party members are doing anything.
Yeah, what's everyone else doing?
Who's sneaky? I mean, I'd say somebody sneak a peek.
Dante's gonna try to sneak up and shuffle through these boxes as quietly as possible to see what he saw. Basically, this movement.
Okay.
And
Let's see a charisma check from Zuzu to aid you. Hey.
Oh, actually, did it.
He knows a lot about oxes.
My 8
also got-
charisma.
Oxen.
You're like,
I'm just being
Oxen,
so
huh?
annoying that
Yeah.
they have to pay attention to me.
add rolled quick bar. No, go away.
So you can roll this with advantage because Zuzu's helping you. Distraction.
Dex, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Oh,
Well, I guess you already have advantage for moving silently and unseen. I'll give you a +1 for Zuzu's outnumbered.
so an 11.
For aid, I think. Aid should only give you a +1 or a -1, not like advantage. But yeah, so you get an 11, so that's good. Just barely enough. I think one of them starts to look back just as you approach, and Zuzu does something really desperate, kind of grabs his face and turns it and towards the ox or something, just in the last moment. And you climb up in the back of the cart, you slide the crate aside, and you start ripping the fabric to see who is wrapped up in all of this. And sure enough, it is your old friend Awa.
Aww.
damn it.
Unconscious, rope around his throat. Pale as a ghost, but still alive.
I'd be willing to save anyone else over this dude.
But like, he's not actually that bad.
Oh, he was being an asshole about my god.
Oh, sure, he's an asshole, but like,
Could be worse.
oh no,
So
He's no soup.
he's no soup. Hell, he's not even a Roscoe.
I can't really do anything as long as I'm making the ox sit still.
Yeah, you just have to stay there.
Dante probably gives him a few slaps on the face, trying to like get him back to consciousness.
Yeah, he like kind of barely comes to, but you can tell he's in bad shape. And he's like, Ante.
You idiot! Can you move? Can you get off this fucking cart?
Where's Zuzu?
He's up the front. He's distracting them, but we've got to move quickly. We don't have time for these questions. We've got to get you out of here, and then we've got to go. And Dante probably starts pulling on this bag that he's in, and
Yeah, you start like trying to slide him out of the cart. It's hard, but you can do it. As you do it, he's like, "Don't tell Zuzu. I know where Erg is going." You're kind of half out of it.
you can tell him yourself later. Come on.
Yeah, he just kind of fades back out of consciousness, and you drag him out of the back of the cart. And I think at that exact moment, you know, Cedric, you let the oxen go, and the oxen just starts walking, like right past you, mid-conversation, Zuzu with them.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna kind of like slap it on the ass and be like, "See, I told you. You gotta chat with him sometimes."
They just look confused
Okay.
as they roll away. And, you know, you roll out of sight.
Yeah.
I imagine the cart has like
Alright.
high sides and backs to kind of keep all the cargo in. So yeah, you're just like gone.
Yeah.
Zuzu, that was incredible. I've never seen you do anything like that before. And Awa, is he all right?
He's unconscious. We need to get him back somewhere where he can rest, and then we can go get back on our task.
That was amazing. You guys are. I knew you were special, shining.
I just don't think I can live with that guilt in my stomach.
So where are you gonna take him? Where are you gonna take him? Back to the Salty Minnow?
Yeah, I'd imagine since is it on the way to the Ark, or?
No, it's kind of the opposite direction actually, and it's still a pretty far walk because you guys are pretty close to the Ark, like right outside of it. Actually, people are probably looking at you also.
Do you know anywhere on the way,
I mean,
Dante?
you
Or
could probably spot an inn right here, I would imagine, on this like corner closest to the Ark. There is a large fancy inn.
Yeah, let's go pay for a room for him and
let's see if he's got any money
leave
in
a
his
note.
pockets.
You reach in
Okay.
his pockets, and I think you find one pocket has like a ball of string and like a button,
The other one has a fly.
and yeah, like a dead fly. And you reach in the other pocket, and there's like an eyeball-sized emerald, just like perfectly cut, and a sack of something powdered.
I roll my eyes.
Let's just drop him off somewhere over here.
Yeah, the emerald will more than pay for his room for sure. It'll pay for his room for the week and more. A bath and food and everything else.
So we give the innkeeper the emerald and said, just keep an eye on him. Make sure he's not dead.
Yeah, she's like a nice old, woman who agrees to kind of look after him.
And nobody's looking for him. If anybody comes saying they're looking for him, they're not. You just let him get rest. He needs rest. Nobody needs to be disturbing this man till we come back.
She's like, I don't even know his name.
Exactly.
Well, he's got a peculiar look to him.
Well, he does. He looks like an AI generated him.
AI generation. I've heard of that before. That's like cloning or something, right?
All right, so you drop Awa off at a nearby inn. He's able to pay his own way, luckily. Yeah, and are you gonna head off towards the golden barge then? I suppose.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's where we fade to black. We see you hike up the small dune that the ark sits on, and you follow the path that kind of winds far around the side of the ark into the other side, where you see kind of, there's another small slum of boats on this side of the city, much smaller than the south side, kind of where you came in. And you march past it and out of the city towards the massive golden barge, which you can just see on the horizon on the opposite side of the bowl. So you kind of like are leaving the big bowl of dunes, and you see the barge off into the distance.
Cora will just like look toward the barge that's like away from the city and look back toward Arc City and just to her, like she'll just kind of grab something that's like around her neck and just say, well, not today, mother. And march forward.
So as you say that, you guys march out of the city. We fade to black, and as you kind of come up towards the barge, far off in the distance past the barge, a massive kind of tower looms on the misty kind of desert horizon, or that mirage-like horizon, and that is the Rim Spire. Yeah, the Rim Spire is a holy site for the old gods. And I think we also see, maybe Cora, as we fade out on our session, you say that to the mother, but up ahead of you guys is like a big caravan of religious tourists being led by local guides on palanquins and carts and that to the rim. So you're heading away from the city, but also a little closer to a different kind of church, possibly. But you got to do the barge thing first.
I got to do the barge thing first, mother.
Yeah, the barge is on the way, so that comes first. Cool. Great session, everybody.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
Did anybody get some goals?
There's mine.
I don't think so.
Got one.
We didn't roll a dice, I don't think, until like hour 3 of the session.
Mhm.
Goal, I'll learn how Cedric harnesses his magic. Not yet. Learn more about the Black Candle from Awa. Not yet. Find a way to cast a new spell. You did that. I'll give you an XP for that.
That's all I needed. Finally at level 3.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and I don't know that mine do. I do have seek out a spell or scroll. I did seek them out, but I didn't buy one.
Yeah, that's true. You were the reason that we found the magic shop. I'm actually going to give you a half Dante for finding a way to cast a new spell because you bought it at a shop, and I'll give you 1 for your next one. Make sure no one's harmed by the Reclaimer.
9.5.
And I'll give you a half of 1 for finding the shop, Cora.
Thank you.
I use my staff of command to get the party out of a difficult situation. Ooh, I think you did do that. Yeah.
By the skin of my teeth.
Yeah, barely, just at the end of the session with the oxen. Yeah, that was it was a fun plan. It was fun to see it come together. I was glad you guys got to have like a little action along roleplay session, so I'll give you XP there.
Thank you.
Learn more about the staff's origin, not yet. Explore the golden barge soon. Solve my crow problem, not yet. In the favor of the Reclaimer.
I don't think he's in our favor.
Yeah, not really. Not yet. I think if you do the golden barge thing, though. Eliminate our wanted level for the Sarkhan escape. I mean, you did that, for sure.
Yay.
At least for now. At least
Right.
locally. So I'll give you an XP for that.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you.
It's like a flashing star.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It could go away.
It can go away. We stay around here for long enough.
That's right. Belief. Sorcery should never be resorted to in practical sleep. That's right. Yeah, you did kind of harp on that. I don't know if it changed the story, but
it was the only belief relevant. It doesn't need it doesn't need an XP, but
good though. Good job letting your beliefs play. That's always already I will prove myself as a leader to this group. Not quite yet, I don't think. But I'm seeing it more. Already I feel like is already kind of presence this arc. I will ensure that we are the only team to delve the depths of the Golden Barge.
We're headed that way pretty strongly. Haven't gotten it, but
Yeah,
hey,
I feel like that's a pretty big goal.
On the way. Are we supposed to post our beliefs too, or just?
If you think it came into play,
Hmm.
I will convince Cedric, Cora, Dante that we can't keep running from our pursuers. I mean, you kind of started barking up that tree.
I don't think I got XP for any of these, but it's going.
They're gestating. Anybody else?
Germinating.
Else had go?
Oh, I definitely didn't hit any goals.
Okay.
Or beliefs.
Yeah, I mean, I think I played on my beliefs, but not enough for an XP.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, that's the nice part about beliefs. The XP doesn't come in very often, but they are just nice guides for role playing as well. How to approach situations. And
Yeah, I was sort of like looking at that when we were going to leave this captive person. Like, okay, like I'm not. That doesn't serve my purpose.
oh, that's right. Actually, I was thinking about that at the moment. I thought that was really good. You kind of mentioned like, look, like we do good things. Like we shouldn't, even if it's not Awa, like we shouldn't just let this person get kidnapped.
Especially if it's not Awa.
That was.
I really liked Cora bringing up, well, it like Dante was like fated to see him. It was a mother like showing him a way. I was like, ooh, that's really good.
Yeah, I think you.
Oh, thank you.
I'll give you an XP for that belief. I think, Cora. Let me see the belief.
Oh, here.
Oh, that was one of the other ones you sent me that you don't have slotted in right now.
Oh, what was it?
You had, or one we had talked about was I am sent here to do good, and I literally
Oh, yeah.
was like, it could be like the mother sent me here to do good, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you
Yeah,
had-
I know. I was kind of waiting till I got to the church to kind of like re-establish my path with the mother.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to wait.
Yeah, I feel that. Still, great job then.
Thanks.
All right, good session, everybody. That was a fun one. I think getting really interesting now.
Yep, great session, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I want to kill the Reclaimer.
Oh, me too.
I don't like him at all, not even a little bit. I want his head on a spike.
I just want to see him taken down. Don't care if he dies.
I'm glad I made you guys hate him so much.
I really
Yeah.
was happy that we
job.
met him once I hated him so much.
Listen, if we like hang him up by his underwear, like you do to kids on flagpoles back in like younger years, I think that would get everything we want out of him.
Yeah, I mean, so far it just sounds like you're gonna do exactly what he wants you to do. So.
Okay.
Yeah, to be fair. Yeah, true.
I guess we're bitches.
Bootlickers.
But we're his bitches.
Listen, we got to cover our own asses first.